So unfortunately, here we are again. The entire engine's been pulled out. It's been completely stripped down all the way to the crank this time. Engine had a noise. We did find out what the source of the problem was, but we were just being thorough. Tore everything down to go through and check out what was going on. Replaced some other, parts, timing chain tensioner, new head bolts, a couple other things that we needed to change out. Cam followers, all of the ones that have circles on them. The opposing side on the camshafts have wear on the ends of the cam lobes. I don't know if that's from it's sitting for a long time, because I built the motor 8 years ago and it's only recently run the last year. But with that being said, I've got all new cam followers, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and I do have new cams too. I didn't get stock ones, so I think I got 262s. Just a little step up, a little more duration, a little more pep. I think they could give you like 8 horsepower, something like that. So, but we're gonna finish putting everything together here, get it all tidied back up, rotate the motor around, make sure everything is doing what it needs to. Get it to long block position, and then get it back in the car, so that way I can finally run this thing and enjoy it without any falter, hopefully any falter. But other than that, I just wanted to show you guys I've got everything completely stripped. I'll be putting more of this together here soon, kind of covering a few other little bits, and yeah, here we are. All right, so there you have it. The engine's back together as a long block, head installed, the new cams put in, all the valve train, new cam followers, everything's all hooked up, torqued how it needs to, got the rear timing covers on and everything. Went through and rotated the motor over and whatnot, make sure that all of our clearances and stuff look good. So I'm just kind of touching base on some of the things that we noticed, which were just, let's see, some of these lobes on this cam, like this one right here, had some bits on it that were not very smooth. They were kind of coarse. Yeah, you can kind of see the coarseness. You can kind of see how coarse some of these cam lobe tips are. So what was happening was, again, I had an engine noise while it was running. I had some cam followers that were essentially bad because the motor sat for a long time after I built it some years ago, and in combination with some of these lobes on these cams not being that great, it was physically starting to get ready to groove the cam followers, and the followers were also making noise because they weren't able to hold as much oil pressure or work to their full potential. But other than that, I'm happy with where I'm at. Can finish getting it back together, all the extra little bits, and then put it back in the car and see if we can enjoy this for longer than a weekend without seeing if there's an issue. But I'm happy to have gone through the motor again, even though I built it a long time ago, just to make sure everything's tip-top, and so I can go out and enjoy the car. And I mean, that's the idea, right? So stay tuned for more on this, and hopefully we'll be on the road. What does that look like? That looks like the entire engine and everything is blown apart again, or at least we're on our way into that. Going through and investigating what's going on. So we put everything back together just this last time, and I have what sounds like piston slap. again, all of the components in this engine are new with the exception of the piston rods, the pistons, and I believe that's it, because I just recently changed the cams, changed all the cam followers. I put new rod bearings in while I had all the pistons out. Again, they didn't look bad because I just did them not too long ago. So, I mean, they really weren't anything. But I got a noise, so I'm gonna be looking into oh, and I changed the oil pump too. I'm gonna be looking into the oil pump shaft, the gears. I believe that there's a sleeve or a bearing or something in here. I'm gonna look into that. And then once I take the cylinder head off, I'm gonna go ahead and rotate the motor, see if there's anything that stands out to me as far as like the pistons, check the movement, look at my clearances, and then go ahead and I'm gonna take the rest of this thing apart, probably get it over to the machine shop so that way we can go ahead and see what is exactly out of tolerance or what's causing the slap. When I'm running the engine, I definitely hear it right here. I went ahead and pulled this spark plugs, or not spark plugs, but with the plug wires while this thing was running to see if the noise would cancel out. At any point it did not, so therefore it leads me to believe that it is piston slap. So even though I just had them out, checked them, everything looked good and felt good by hand, but I guess again, when it's running, you know, it's forcing the piston back down. So I think that, you know, either we got some unwanted or unwarranted movement inside the cylinder, or something's going on with the wrist pin. So we're gonna check it out and see what's up. Gosh, this is what, 3-4 times now. It's okay, that's what it's all about. Okay, so this no doubt has been a labor of love. This is the third time that we're getting into this motor, okay? Taking it all the way apart, putting it all the way back together. Long story short, we did find that after sending it out to the machine shop and getting everything back, it didn't really need anything. I did put new bearings in it and everything, just out of good faith, good practice. In doing that, I did discover it was missing an engine or a piston nozzle. So for this AFP, they're not even available. So I got one I could use, and I think the way that my partner and I put it in worked just fine. So going back through, putting all this back together, and again, the reason for doing all this is because I had a little bit of piston slap and low oil pressure at idle. It's only showing like 4 PSIs, but everywhere else it ran healthy. So third time is a charm. Hopefully that's it. We can put it back in the car and be done with this mess in the garage and move on to finer things. This has already had all the EFI swap and everything done to it, so I'm excited to get into that. But more on that later, and we'll talk more soon. Thanks.